Hey, and welcome to the Capital Gains Tax Solutions podcast, where we believe most high net worth individuals and those who help them, they struggle with clarifying their capital gains tax deferral options. Not having a clear plan is the enemy, and using a proven tax deferral strategy such as the Deferred Sales Trust is the best way for you to exit and defer millions of dollars of capital gains tax on the sale of cryptocurrency. Businesses, real estate, save a failed 1031 exchange so you can create and preserve more wealth or help others do the same. Hey, I'm your host, Brett Swarts. In each episode, I'm joined by some of the best real estate, financial, crypto, wealth managers, and leaders in the world where they share their ideas, deal stories, and inspiration. So together we can make complex tax deferral strategies simple and passive income plans achievable. I'm excited about our next guest. He's calling out of the great state of Nevada, one of the more tax-friendly states in the nation. And he's got a whole big story, but he sits squarely at the intersection of publishing and promotion, as well as on the front lines of cryptocurrency. And we're going to be talking all things DeFi and NFTs, and we're going to be talking down the crypto rabbit hole. Please welcome to the show with me, Jesse Krieger. Hey, Jesse, how you doing?
Hey, great to be here, Brett. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. And for our listeners getting to know you for the first time, would you give us a little bit more about your story and your current focus?
Sure. So I've been an entrepreneur in one shape or form my whole adult life. And around 10 years ago, I wrote a book called Lifestyle Entrepreneur, which was published first in Asia and then in the rest of the world. So I became a best-selling author, and through that started a book publishing company, Lifestyle Entrepreneurs Press. So for the last 7 years or so, I've been running a book publishing company. On the sidelines, was getting into crypto, was getting involved in investing strategies. And last year, co-founded powerfan.io, where we're doing NFTs for authors, content creators, and artists, as well as decentralized finance and staking. So those two worlds of like being in creative industry plus being in financial and crypto blockchain industries are now converging, which I think is exciting.
It's extremely exciting, and I love that the background that you have and you're applying it to the cryptocurrency world, feels a little bit similar to what I'm doing. My background is real estate and tax, which is completely separate than crypto, but we're trying to take our tool and our strategy and our expertise to serve that community and help them exit well. And so we're going to be talking all things DeFi and NFTs and how your unique abilities are helping people to do that in your own way. But before we go there, I want to take one other step back. You know, Jesse, I believe we've all been given certain gifts in this life, and these gifts have been given to be a blessing and help to others. And I want you to go back to the original days, earlier days. You know, you're from the Bay Area. I'm originally from the Bay Area in Sacramento. And maybe when you're in high school or university. And what are those one or two gifts that you believe you were given? And then how does that help how you help and bless people today?
Sure. So one, I'd say is a love of reading at an early age. I mean, it all makes sense now looking back as an author and a publisher, but I grew up like getting read Where the Wild Things Are to me by my mom, or encouraged to read Choose Your Own Adventure books. And I always discovered a world through reading, and I've learned a great deal through that. So that's been an asset, and now a way that I help a number of other people as well. I'd say the other parallel one with technology is, in the mid 80s or late 80s, we had a Macintosh in the house and dial-up internet. So we're probably part of the first generation that grew up with a computer and an internet connected device in the house from a young age. So I feel sort of native to internet technology. And of course, being from the Bay Area, got to see the whole story of Apple and the emergence of some of the biggest names in tech kind of in our backyard was very inspiring, and no doubt also plays into what my current focus is today.
Okay, we're back. So sorry. That was a little delay there.
Oh,
We
good.
are talking about technology, right? You had such a good point there. We're gonna blurb that out for everybody that just went silent. Okay, it's like our commercial break. Yeah, I really resonate with that. Right, same thing. I remember mom and dad, they brought home the first Apple computer, right? And they sat it there, and my brother and I start clicking. This is well before the internet, right? Or at least that we had, and we just played some like random games on the first Mac, and being a part of that kind of that greater community in the Bay Area who was on the front line of computers was inspiring to say the least. So I love how that those two gifts of the love of reading and then being in the first generation with technology being native. And so let's apply both of those concepts to what you're seeing now in the DeFi and NFT space, as well as with what company you've built right now with powerfound.io. So what's the biggest secret right now when it comes to investing or understanding DeFi and NFTs?
Sure. So I think, I mean, if it's a secret, let's call it an open secret. But if you get exposure to this asset class of decentralized finance, which we can describe as owning cryptocurrencies like Ethereum or Avalanche or Phantom, and then using those to get access to other projects where you can stake and earn an APY, a return, in additional cryptocurrency. So you can earn APY paid in different cryptocurrencies. That's conceptually what decentralized finance is. And there's APYs much, much higher than available in traditional finance, certainly more so than in a bank. And there's varying levels of risk that you can employ or risk management strategies you can employ to get access to better potential returns while and why don't you pop back if you look. Yeah, that's the token. There is some information there. There's a white page of if you click on white paper at the top center, and there's a good overview of like what we're doing at PowerFan. And there's a page there like basically on the second or third one of what we are, which right here is threefold, right? It's an NFT minting platform. So we work with authors, content creators, experts, artists, podcast hosts to mint their NFT collections and help them manage the initial sale. And then the second part is DeFi staking. So with our own cryptocurrency, our PFAN token, people can earn a yield up to 100% APY after 90 days that's paid out in PFAN. That in turn helps fund our platform operations and incentives for creators and partners. And the third part of it is an NFT allows for a royalty routing. So after that initial sale of the NFT, if it's sold a second time, a third time, a fourth time, a royalty flows back to the creator instantly and automatically. You could think of it as an instant settlement in a stock trade. I think of it in terms of book publishing. It speeds up the time that the creator gets paid, and it doesn't have to pass through a central body like a publishing company, for example. So NFTs have the potential to generate passive income streams through secondary market sales that flow a royalty to the creator. So that's an opportunity available with NFTs and DeFi that's related, but is using cryptocurrencies like PFAN and Ethereum to generate a return higher than available through traditional finance means.
Super interesting and literally cutting edge. Right, NFTs exploded in 2021, and I had friends. We have clients that we're working with right now who have huge NFT holdings and are looking for ways to exit without getting hammered by the capital gains tax. I mean, I'm talking hundreds of millions of dollars, right? And being on the front line of some of these that really just went through the roof here on the returns. And we'll
I
talk
could
about.
speak to that for a second if you're interested.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Let's dive right into that.
Yeah. So since we're going down the crypto rabbit hole, like so an NFT, the whole point of it is it's a fixed form, right? You either own it or you don't. You can't own a half of an NFT. But how could you realize accumulated capital gains without selling the whole NFT? There's some solutions that are coming online to fractionalize So I think there's fractionalized art is one. We could look at a few more, but it allows you to sort of syndicate or sell a little share in your NFT without selling it, although you're locking it in a smart contract. So you could get liquid on part of the accrued value in an NFT collection or even a single NFT through a fractionalizing or a syndication. And the other interesting thing I've seen, I'll shout out to a project I'm in, but not really a part of, called Billionaire Coyote Cartel. They pooled money together, bought a bunch of NFTs and put them in a vault. And then 1 year later, those are sold, or 1 year and a day, those are sold and the proceeds are distributed pro rata. So that's a capital gain solution to get the appreciation in the NFT value, but to own a fractional part of a vault of NFTs. So just thinking out loud, but your clients could look at either taking their collection and doing a vault that's fractionalized, and now they're generating revenue without necessarily a sale, or a fractionalized on an individual basis.
Yeah, very, very fascinating. And we've already done it for Ethereum and Bitcoin. It was a seller who bought Bitcoin for about 30 to 50,000 years ago, and it went to 50 million. And she worked for one of the big tech companies in Silicon Valley, and never exited because of the capital gains tax, in part because didn't have a great place to put it until she wanted to start a business. So she exited the 5 million, and we just set up a Kraken account, and we set up the Kraken account in the name of the trust, and she transferred the BTC to the Kraken account, and it was simple. And the PTT was exited to cash, and then we're out to the next thing. So it's all in a tax deferral state. Ethereum is also simple because it's a major major coin that can trade on these major ones. The ones that are getting a little more are the decentralized ones or the NFTs, where there creates these transfers, right? So when you transfer, it's taxable. And so we're working on a structure right now. We haven't done it yet, where we're going to assign the interest prior to the exit. And so there's a few things there that we're on the cutting edge on. But as soon as we close the first NFT one, I think it'll change the world. But any thoughts on that?
Sure. Yeah, I think it's a really interesting place to play. What I see in decentralized finance with staking. So like we could use PowerFan as an example, or I could cite I will cite another project too. But with PowerFan, if you're staking, so you're earning up to 100% APY after 90 days. But if you left that for 366 days, then the accumulated PowerFan tokens that you now have could be sold on a long-term capital gains basis, and you can withdraw your staked liquidity. So it's not actually an investment like you're buying something and hope it goes up. You have the chance to get a capital appreciation from Ethereum and or PFAN going up in value, but you're earning additional tokens that will then have a 1 year plus basis for tax that you can get liquid on, and you still have your initial capital. So
let's walk through that. Let's try to bring that into real life here, right?
Yeah.
Because I think I'm following you pretty good, but for our listeners, we're going to break it down. So let's imagine I either have $100,000 of Ethereum or B, $100,000 NFT, right? And I want to come and take advantage of your service here, right? And it's and again, for those who are wondering, it's powerfan.io, powerfan.io. Walk us step by step. Am I going to transfer Ethereum or trade Ethereum and buy some PowerFan, right? And what's the symbol? Walk us through that whole just step by step.
Sure. If you pop up a screen share, I can talk you through it at powerfan.io/staking. And essentially what you do, in that example, if you had $100,000 in Ethereum, you'd go to the staking platform, you'd click buy PFAN, and then you'd buy, let's say, $40,000 of PFAN, because then you're going to provide an equal value pair of now $40,000 of Ethereum and the $40,000 of PFAN you just bought. So then you just click the button stake now, and it locks up those two tokens in Uniswap. Uniswap being the largest decentralized exchange. So now you've provided that liquidity. The result is you'll have an NFT. So if you click stake now, for example, on that green button, see it pops you over to, it's pre-set up here in Uniswap, where if you had your wallet connected and you had Ethereum and PFAN, you
And the
just
wallet could be like
enter
MetaMask wallet.
0.1
It could
Ethereum.
be a Kraken wallet. I mean, what kind of wallet when you're saying that?
Use a MetaMask wallet.
Okay.
That's going to be best for now.
So you would connect your MetaMask wallet to your pfan.io account, right?
Yep.
And then you, let's say I transfer in $100,000 ETH, right? Ethereum.
So
Okay,
go
and
back to
then
that
you would,
last screen, the other staking screen you were on just before this one.
yeah, I'm gonna go back. Yep.
Yeah. So the first step would be click buy PFAN tokens in that top center.
Yep.
And then that's a direct sale contract. So you could put in 0.1 on that purchase tokens, or you could put 1 Ethereum. Because your wallet's not connected, but if you had a wallet connected, it would show how many PFAN you're buying.
Got it.
So if you bought $40,000, then you just go back to leaderboard, or you just click refresh there. Sorry, just there.
Yeah, leaderboard. Yeah, got it. Yeah.
And then you click stake now,
Mm-hmm.
and then you just fill in the blank on Uniswap. So yeah, you could click that and simulate it on Uniswap.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
click
stake
now. Stake now. Yeah. And now if you just put into the ETH, put in like 1 in the ETH. The text entry down below.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, right there. Yep.
Yep. And see how it auto propagates. For 1 Ethereum, you also need to provide 27,968 PFAN. So whatever you just purchased, you put that number in and click connect wallet would turn into provide liquidity.
Right.
And at that point, you have staked. The final step is you just go back to the PowerFan site there on the top left. And you click, then you would see your position, and you'd see a button that says start earning.
Got it.
Once you click start earning and sign that transaction, then this dashboard will start to show your accumulating PFAN rewards and your 30, 60, 90-day token balances.
Awesome. So back to it. So I got $100,000 to ETH. I'm like, I want to check this thing out. I want to go with 100,000, right? And I put it in here. Now, what's my, give me that, you said that API 100%, give me that. So $100,000 in 1 year equals what exactly?
Yeah.
Approximately.
So if you click the PowerFan icon, so just going to powerfan.io.
Yeah, PowerFan right there.
Yep. And then that little motion graphic. And this is the overview of the staking. So if you just scroll down, there's a video and stuff, but right here is the details. So starting at the top, from the moment you stake, you're earning at 25% APY. But at 30 days,
explain APY for people in case they don't know.
Yeah, so that's just the annualized yield expressed in a percent. So if you had $1,000 in there, that would be $250. That would be 25% APY
per year. So per year, right?
Yeah, per year, but you get it real time. So each day would be $250 divided by 365 is going to show up in your accumulating rewards balance.
Nice.
And then there's breakpoints. At 30 days, that ticks up to 50%. At 60 days, 75. And then from 90 to 180 days, which is the max term for this opportunity right now, you're earning at 100%.
Okay. And when you say you're earning that in the PFAN token?
Correct.
Got it.
And the capital that's committed can be withdrawn. So you basically claim your rewards, which are just a bonus, and you also have the chance if PFAN and or Ethereum has gone up in value, then the staked capital is now worth more on the other side of this experience too.
Okay, cool. So I guess I don't know if I can ask you this personal question, but like, how much are you putting in, right? Because it's always like I bring real estate deals with people, and I'm like, okay, there's a deal, but part of what I do is unless I'm going in with them, right, or I have a client that has millions of dollars with a prior group and it's built up that know, like, and trust, and I can lean on that relationship to know that this is a legit deal. Like, how much are you putting personally into this thing, if you don't mind sharing?
Yeah, I mean, well, personally, I'm a co-founder of the company, so we built this whole platform. I also invested into the company. I also am a large holder of the PFAN token, and I'm providing liquidity and staking on the same market terms as we just looked at on the screen right now today, to the tune of thousands of dollars.
Mhm.
But I should also share that we're rolling this out this month. I mean, we're talking in January 2022. This is coming online also in January 2022. So
So exciting. Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah.
the PFAN token has existed for a while. We have a capital base of investors. We're
Mhm.
moving towards being listed on exchanges like KuCoin by summertime. The
Mhm.
staking is a bridge to both provide a return,
Mhm.
provide liquidity, and create trading volume in our token, which in turn gets an exchange interested. And then we have got
Cool.
that's the exit in a sense. On the other
Mhm.
side of staking, hopefully
Mhm.
you've got tokens that are now getting listed on an exchange and you get that bump in price too.
What's the technology? And you might have said this, but I want to make sure because right, because like you could say Ethereum is connecting, different coins, and so it's the way to basically bring things together. Bitcoin is maybe the stable most, it's truly decentralized, and all of them have their different niches. But what PFAN at its essence, like what is it, and how does it provide value?
Yeah, so it's twofold. The staking we're talking about here provides just a return on financial terms, and there's a whole group of people that are actively investing in decentralized finance and staking. But that also provides both token value and utility for the NFT side and the creator side.
Mm,
We're
that's the
doing
key. That's right.
creator
That's right.
coin.
So you said in the beginning, the one and the two, right?
So
So.
people can stake and earn PFAN and
Mhm.
then use that to purchase NFTs, access exclusive content,
Mhm.
and basically get value through the platform from what they've generated from
So
staking.
watch this. So I'm coming out with my book, right? And so I'm releasing the book, and I've got like Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank is going to be in it, releasing
What?
in 30 days. And so maybe we can apply it to something like this, right? And we're talking
Yep.
about how we defer capital gains to taxes on cryptocurrency and businesses and real estate and all that stuff. And it's called building a tax deferred exit strategy. So what you're saying is I could set up a PFAN account, or walk me through like step by step, like
Yeah.
how would I do that?
Sure. Well, there's two ways that we could like engage on that. One would be setting up a staking pool. So, like for your community, whoever stakes, you'd get a percent of the yield on that total balance for being the like organizing face of it, right? And
Mhm.
then we'd be the technology partner and provide the rewards and all of the operations. So that
Mhm.
would be a staking opportunity. But if you want to turn the book into an NFT, then you could use the PowerFan platform, or we could support creating like a limited edition NFT collection. So maybe there's 100 books. It's an NFT. It gives you the book plus bonus content, plus a one-on-one call or a group training where you do an
Mhm.
interactive deferred tax strategy
Mhm.
masterclass.
Mhm.
And then maybe there's a tax planning spreadsheet you've built. So you could
Mhm.
stack some bonuses
Mhm.
and offer the NFTs while still publishing the book in like the traditional public or the publishing sense.
Yeah.
But now you've got NFTs that are circulating, um, and you've got collection holders that you could engage with and add value to in different ways over time.
Got it. And am I giving up ownership of the book? Like, walk me through that.
No,
Like, what?
you're not.
Yeah. No.
And that's the thing. With an NFT, unless you're explicitly stating this NFT includes a transfer of rights, and
Mhm.
here's the official language on that,
Mhm.
you're not transferring anything. You're just selling.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
digital transaction.
What's the downsides to it, right? Like, I mean, obviously people don't know about it, right? But I'm like, let's go, Jesse. That sounds cool. Like, why wouldn't I do that, right?
It is exciting, and talking about like growing up first generation with internet in the house, I see this as the same evolutionary technology that internet protocol was. Like NFTs and DeFi is a whole new infrastructure that with it brings as many opportunities as the internet brought. So across real estate, across finance, across arts and music, across these other touch points at
Mhm.
culture. And
Mhm.
so that's the exciting thing. Like there's never a dull moment in this space. In real time, things are being created that are groundbreaking, and the chance to make a lot of money is also there too.
I think it's so cool. Powerfan.io, powerfan.io, learn more about Jesse Krieger there. So let's shift a little bit to the capital gains tax, right? And exiting. So what's the biggest frustration you found when it comes to cryptocurrency owners wanting to exit and having huge gains and wanting to defer the capital gains tax? What have you seen? What are you doing? Talk a little bit about that.
Sure. I mean, I have an international friend base, and for my American friends, I have friends that live in Puerto Rico now. So I have friends that, knowing they were going to be in crypto longer than a year, decided, hey, I'm going to make a move to Puerto Rico. I think it's like 4%, or somebody else knows the exact numbers, but you get a massive way to save on your taxes while still living in the US and all of that. So that's one option. There's no state income tax states like Nevada and others that you can at least save on that state level. Wyoming has some innovative things going on where they're becoming blockchain friendly in terms of incorporation and clarity on tax structuring and liability. Internationally, there's a lot more moving parts for non-US citizens that aren't subject to international taxation. Then you have a different playing field to work with. So I think those are two separate conversations, but for US citizens and, long-term being over a year, that's how to think of it. Like, am I making this investment for a year or more? And if so, how to think about it? Or am I making a trade? And if I'm trading, then am I planning around that as a strategy? But, it's my approach, and it's the one that I think gets the best results, that dollar cost averaging in and getting more exposure to projects you like can build that long-term capital base, where then if you do want to exit, you can take advantage of a long-term accumulated position. Now, that's one thing. I could share what else I've seen starting to come online are like qualified small businesses. So, qualified small business, after 5 years, you can sell. And as long as it's in technology, research, I think financial management, those all qualify. So you could sell the business tax-free. So you sell the stock of the company. But if you go that route, you could transfer some of your crypto assets to the balance sheet of this qualified company. And then after 5 years, you can sell the company. Whoever buys the company can now liquidate the crypto assets. But that would be another way to sell, to exit a crypto position in a tax-free scenario by selling the actual company and having, of course, 5 years to play with a P&L on a company that would work with that longer-term strategic approach.
Thank you so much for sharing. That's great. Yeah, those are all, I think, strategies to consider. We also have one called the Deferred Sales Trust, where you don't have to move to Puerto Rico. It works for short-term or long-term. Now, there has to be a qualifying amount. It needs to be $1 million net proceeds, $1 million gain. But you can exit, kind of like exiting to like an IRA or a 401k, all tax deferred. And at that point, you can put it into more crypto at lower prices, or stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or real estate assets, all tax deferred. And so it's very flexible. If anyone learns about that, you can go to capitalgainstaxsolutions.com. That being said, are you ready for the lightning round?
Yeah. And one more quick point is
Yeah.
there's a lot of protocols where you can borrow against your crypto. So you don't have to sell it and incur that. You could lock it up in Aave or others and then borrow against it, and now you're liquid.
Let's talk about that real fast, because Bitcoin went from like $68,000 at like the high, about, I don't know, 4 months ago. And now it's, I don't know what it is today, but it was like 36,000 maybe yesterday, the day before. And so when you're locking up, is it still subject to the potential drop in value?
It is, definitely. So
Yeah.
So the safe strategy would be, take your crypto, have it in stable coin. So now you have no currency fluctuation risk, and then borrow against that.
But however, when you, like, if you had like BTC or ETH or whatever other coin, to get to stable coin, isn't that a taxable transaction?
Yeah. So in that case, that would be, and that's an issue. But you could borrow up to, let's say, 30-40% fairly safely. So if you had a big gain in your Bitcoin and you lock that up and borrow against it 20%, it could go down like it is ought to do, and you won't get liquidated, but you're still getting liquid on your holding, right?
So you're ready for the Monday morning quarterback, right? And in fact, we're looking at it for the client who bought the Bitcoin from 30 to 50,000, went to 50 million, and she exited at 54,000. That was her target to exit the first 5 million, and then was waiting. And then the market went all the way to 68, and she was waiting for the new year to hit to exit additional 1.3 million or so. But then obviously the new year hit, and like boom, we dropped down to, again, I don't know where it's at today. But the point is, the Monday morning quarterback would have been sell everything at 68,000. Let's just say, right? You time it perfect, right? All 50 million, exit and into the DST. And now you're all tax deferred. And then it drops to 36,000, right? And then you can partner with the trust and buy back into that crypto at a low, all tax deferred, and ride it back up again,
Oh,
right? So
that's pretty slick.
you see that? So it's a sell high, buy low. It's not, and it's like, and you can also dollar cost average. It doesn't have to be the full 50, but it could be 5 million, 10 million at a time. And so now we're in a position where, we're going to have to wait until probably 54 again or so. That's kind of the number that she felt comfortable with. If she, given where she thinks Bitcoin's going, you can always exit whenever you want. But do you see that? You see that magic there?
I like it. I mean, that sounds like a way to not wait until the new year if there's an opportunity, but still have the capital gains tax.
Exactly. Yeah. So folks want to learn about that, capitalgainstax.com. All right, here we go. Enough about that. Let's go to the lightning round. If you could go back to your 25-year-old self, Jesse, what's the one golden nugget make sure to tell yourself to do?
Buy Bitcoin the second you hear about it for the first time.
By the way, are you a buyer right now? Because it's on cheap.
I mean, it is what today, I think I looked, it was around 35,000. I mean, I personally have bought thousands of dollars of Bitcoin in the last 2 days.
Yep.
And for
What
anybody
about
that's
ETH?
watching this real time, it's gone down like 50% in the last month. So
Yeah.
I
What
buy
about
when it
ETH?
goes down. ETH, I don't use as much as a Bitcoin. I buy and hold long term.
Got
ETH,
it.
I would use if I'm going to do a transaction on ETH or do an NFT thing.
Cool.
But I like Avalanche and Phantom a lot right now for DeFi.
Cool.
DeFi friendly blockchains.
Excellent. Next question. What's the number one book you've recommended or gifted the most in the past year?
In the past year, we published a book called The Secret Intelligence of Water that's about the impact of human consciousness on water and crystallography. So that one pops to mind. Totally not related to what we've been talking about, but that's the
Sounds
book.
really cool. Next question. Favorite leadership quote or theme that you strive to live by?
Do it better today than yesterday. I mean,
Love that.
incremental improvement is the way to embrace my competitive nature without competing against somebody else.
I love that. Yep. One of our values is every day in every way we get a little better, right? Just a little bit better. Right? That's it. Every day in every way. Cool. Next question is this: what are you most curious about right now?
I am personally very curious on how DeFi and NFTs will continue to converge. I mean, I think this is the opportunity of a generation, and it's available for everyone. So I'm honestly super curious and have a vested interest in how this all plays out.
Phenomenal. Last question. After all your success and all the people you've helped launch and build books and publish, and now everything at powerfan.io, how do you stay centered in your values, and what the habits are you practicing to do that? And how do you stay charged up to go reach for new heights?
Yeah, great question. I mean, I used to travel a lot. I used to be like all over the map. Nowadays, I sometimes barely leave my compound, but I get so much done. I'm able to help so many people, and I'm able to take breaks and go spend time in the garden or take a dip in the pool. So I really do emphasize balance in my own life, and that allows me to keep a forward momentum that's just building bigger and better things all the time. So that's how I think about it.
Love it, Jesse. Hey, I want to thank you for being on the show. I want to thank you for sharing so much wisdom with us, open up my mind with some new possibilities with powerfan.io. I want to encourage you to keep using the gifts and talents you've been given for the love of reading and learning, right? And also using that technology that you caught at your early age for the love of that to help more people create and preserve more wealth. In cryptocurrency and what you're doing. So for our listeners who want to get in touch with you, would you remind them one last time what's the best place for them to find you?
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brett, for having me. Thanks, everybody who made it this far. I hope this was valuable. Come check us out at powerfan.io. And you're welcome to Google my name, Jesse Krieger. I've done a lot of educational training and other podcasts on crypto, blockchain, and NFTs and books.
Amazing. Oh, shoot. Not again. Shoot. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yep, I got you.
Oh, okay. Whatever. My thing's frozen on you, but that's cool. Well, thanks, Jesse, for being on the show. And thanks, everyone, for listening to that episode of the Capital Gains Tax Solutions podcast. As always, we believe most high net worth individuals clarifying their capital gains tax deferral options. Not having a clear plan is the enemy, and using a proven tax deferral strategy such as the Deferred Sales Trust is the best way for you to exit highly appreciated cryptocurrency, businesses, real estate. NFTs, once we haven't done it quite yet, but we've done Ethereum and Bitcoin. So you can defer millions of dollars of capital gains tax, and so that you can create and preserve more wealth, and you get freedom to sell high and buy low. You can learn all about that by going to capitalgainstaxsolutions.com. By the way, we have our free mastermind. It's the Crypto DST Mastermind. It happens every Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern, where we bring on clients, we bring on CPAs, we bring on people that are learning about this for the first time, financial advisors, cryptocurrency investors, real estate investors, and we try to demystify this whole thing called a deferred sales trust. And so if you're learning about it for the first time and you want to dive in, go to capitalgainstaxsolutions.com and register there. Look for the free book that's not the free book, but look for my new book that's coming out that might be on an NFT near you with someone like Jesse. You also look for that. And the last thing is Best Ever Conference. I'll be speaking at the Best Ever Conference. It's a real estate conference in Colorado. If you want to know anything about commercial real estate syndication, multifamily investing, and some of the best are going to be there. So check that out, and I hope to see you there. Thanks, everyone, for watching or listening. And